Oh, hello everybody, it's Megalithic here, otherwise known as Pablo Escobar, and in today's video we're over here at the Maze Bank offices, as doubtlessly you can see, because we intend to purchase ourselves yet another vehicle. Okay, so here we are in the Maze Bank office. Now, before we begin, ladies and gentlemen, I must warn you, don't speak to my secretary. She's a horrible bigot and bows when I enter just to mock the Japanese, you know. She's a terrible racist. Yes, konnichiwa. Okay, well, be that as it may, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to have a look at a vehicle, and it is the Annis ZR350. Okay, then, so the Annis ZR350 can be found under the legendary motorsport website, and there we go. Okay, a relatively recent car to be released, ladies and gentlemen. It's on offer this week, generally retailing for $1.2 or $1.6 million, depending on whether you get the trade or the buy it now price, don't you know? Okay, so there we go. Like I say, 1.2 or 1.6, generally speaking, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to put it in wide, and of course, we're going to send it on up to the Hillcrest residence, as we always do. And on this occasion, we're going to be getting there in the, what is this, the Annis 7R3B, or something like that, ladies and gentlemen. Got no idea. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, it's a horrific waste of money, and I wouldn't recommend purchasing it one little bit, you know. Okay, so here we are, ladies and gentlemen. And it was the Annis RE7B, I should say. You know, just had to find that out. I can never remember the name of the southern thing. Okay, well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is the ZR350, and okay, what do we think was rather interesting looking? It's sort of a mixture between sort of mean and adorable, really, isn't it? It's sort of cuter than a kitten with a cutlass, really, isn't it? It's sort of a very interesting styling there. Okay, well, we're going to take it on out, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, we'll give it a once around, shall we, first of all, and have another look at it, like I say. Yeah, this is a rather interesting looking vehicle. Sort of, I don't know what to make of it, really. Well, I guess we'll find out what turns of performance. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is the unupgraded version, it should be pointed out, and we're just going to check out the acceleration. And yes, up that hill, not too good, ladies and gentlemen. It's sort of slower than a paralyzed pot plant, to be quite frank with you. Okay, we're going to try the sorting hell, right? Okay, an absolute corker there, absolute stinker, I should say. You know, okay, that was sort of my fault, though. So, handling, ladies and gentlemen, not good. Oh dear, okay, right, rather heavy, rather wallowy, and the back end wants to come away from you. I did not expect that from this particular vehicle, right? Okay, and here we go, getting some air, though, so there we go. That's sort of interesting. We're trying to put it around and sliding all the way and hitting a bloody post. Okay, well, I'll have a look at the acceleration along the flat, ladies and gentlemen. It has not much to write home. Well, we'll have a look at the top end speed and the stability, maybe. I mean, in terms of top end speed, ladies and gentlemen. So there we go. Look at that. Absolutely horrific in terms of stability, ladies and gentlemen. Traction is just absolutely shocking. It's absolutely awful, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, well, here we go. We're going to check out the top speed. And actually, this is the unupgraded version, but currently it's about as fast as a beached whale, don't you know? Okay, so not looking too good so far, and in terms of handling, ladies and gentlemen, my god, it's more uncontrollable than a Scotsman at a free bar, you know. So yes, not shaping up too well on the unupgraded version, but we're going to take it on into the custom auto shop, ladies and gentlemen, and have the relevant modifications performed in this vehicle, and we'll see how it handles them. God knows what's taking me so long to get in there on this occasion. I haven't got the faintest clue. Okay, so here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are now finally, after some sort of brief delay there, finally getting into the custom auto shop, as you can see. And of course, as always, ladies and gentlemen, during this section of the video, we will be running at double speed just in order to hurry things along somewhat, you know. But still provide you, the viewer, with the opportunity to have a look at the different modifications that can be effected to this vehicle, should you then choose to go ahead and purchase it, you know. Okay, and so that really is the main question, you know. I think also it might be worth pointing out, like I said, and I do believe that we've probably cut out some of more of the performance-related modifications in terms of turbo, suspension, transmission, engine tuning, that sort of thing, in this interest of brevity. Okay, so what can we say, ladies and gentlemen, about this Annis ZR350? perfectly frank with you, straight out of the box, ladies and gentlemen, not impressed whatsoever. We did sort of have high hopes for this car, you know. I took a look at it and thought, okay, well, that's like a Mazda, isn't it? Now it's going to have to be going. It's going to have something under the hood there. Turns out, no, ladies and gentlemen, absolute thorough disappointment. But very often these cars can be dramatically, their performance can be dramatically improved by application of the modifications, don't you know? Sometimes it has more effect than others, you know, and so we can only hope that on this occasion, ladies and gentlemen, the performance will increase the performance of the vehicle, you know, as simple as that, really. The upgrade will increase the performance of the vehicle, I suppose I'm stumbling towards. Okay, so other than that, ladies and gentlemen, what can we say? Like I say, handling, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it's wretched, you know. It was far too wallowy. I expected it to be very sharp, you know, but the steering itself is sharp, but the car's very wallowy, and the back end, my God, ladies and gentlemen, it's just all over the place, you know. Its traction's absolutely terrible. In terms of acceleration, ladies and gentlemen, it didn't feel that fantastic, and I'm sure you could see in terms of top-end speed, ladies and gentlemen, it was really creeping down that straight there. So sort of underperforming all across the board, really, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, the Previon was bad, but at least it had good handling, you know. This doesn't even seem to have that going for it. It's really rather shocking, I'm sure you'll agree. And so what else is there to say? I don't suppose there is a great deal, really. That pretty much is it. So yes, we're now finally getting on to the colours, I do believe. So with a little bit of luck, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be leaving the custom auto shop in the very near future. I suppose traction is about the only other point, ladies and gentlemen, to bring up. I mean, it just doesn't have traction, you know. You could see it as I was giving the stability test down the straight there. It was just all over the shop, pivoting around the center there, like you wanted to spin around like an old-fashioned record on a record player. I mean, it really was absolutely shocking, you know. Okay, well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, be that as it may, we have now fully upgraded. Oh, how about that? It's raining. Absolutely wonderful, Rockstar. As I said before, we understand that you're Scottish and you've got the imagination to build this game, but can you not imagine a world where it doesn't rain every sodding day? For God's sake, it's supposed to be California. Okay, acceleration, ladies and gentlemen. No, simply doesn't have any. Handling, ladies and gentlemen, they forgot to put that on it too, but see it sliding out there. Top end speed, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, you know, I'm sure they've heard of the concept, but they haven't chosen to apply it to this vehicle, and as I say, traction, absolutely woeful. So here we go, trying to get around that corner, and it's a joke on all sorts of levels, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely shocking. I mean, acceleration, once again, I mean, it's more lacking than any explanation Jeffrey Epstein could ever have offered, you know, ladies and gentlemen. That top speed it's sort of less impressive than a health and safety talk by a fiery to a third degree burns, you know. And in terms of handling, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it's just more slippery than a white man's promise, you know. It's just that bad. Okay, well, be that as it may, ladies and gentlemen, and I can assure you it is, you know. We have nevertheless brought it on up back to the mid-bank offices, and we're going to take it on up to the top speed test track. You could perhaps put low grip tires on this and choose to take the LS car. We've decided to cut that out because it really is absolutely useless. Okay, so I mean, it's cool. It's a cooler. I mean, it's cool. It looks cooler than a penguin's ball sack, doesn't it, ladies and gentlemen? We're going to put it down the top speed test track and see what we can get. Okay, so what we consider to be a broadly competitive time is 53.54 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what the Annis ZR350 can do. Okay, that's rather surprising. 57.5, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so actually that's performed rather better than I thought. I mean, it's not competitive, you know, it's on the outside edge of competitive there. But hey, rather interesting. So we might be able to do something, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and see, shall we? So the first car that we bring out, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the Fister Growler, don't you know? The Fister Growler retails, if I'm not mistaken, for I believe $1.2 to $1.6 million, something in that kind of ballpark, to be quite frank with you. It was released relatively recently, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not a bad Fister, ladies and gentlemen. It beat the old SR, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, it can't be too bad now, can it? And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, it is crossing the line. It's going to cross the line significantly ahead of the ZR350 there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so the next car we're bringing out is going to be the Benefactor Schlagen, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of Mr. Raccoon's more favoured vehicles, don't you know, retailing for a price of $1.3 million, and it certainly is worth it, I can assure you of that. Okay, as you can see, it's got absolutely fantastic acceleration, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to take it down to the top there, way ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen, and it's going to stay in front all the way to the end. So I'm going to take this opportunity to point out that all of the other vehicles are and will be driven by Mr. Raccoon, you know. His name is the Bromby. He has a channel of his own. It is called the Bromby. If you type that into YouTube, you should be able to go and find anyone doing that. Got some other good videos on there. Okay, so the Schlagen taking down the ZR350, ladies and gentlemen. So the next vehicle we're going to bring out is going to be the Banshee 900R, ladies and gentlemen. This is not just the standard Banshee. This is the Banshee that has been modified, you know, and it's about $105,000 for the Banshee, ladies and gentlemen. About $500,000. It's about $565,000, ladies and gentlemen, for the upgrade to take it up to the 900R to make it the super, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, yes, it's leaving it its way and making absolute mincemeat of it. It wasn't even close, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty much all one can say about it. Okay, so the next vehicle that we bring out, ladies and gentlemen, is the Annis Euros, retailing for $1.3 million. That is $1,350,000, I do believe, for this particular vehicle. A vehicle that Mr. Raccoon bought relatively recently. It seems to be wildly underperforming, ladies and gentlemen, and so is suitably paired against the ZR350, ladies and gentlemen, which also seems to be wildly underperforming. Okay, and unfortunately for the ZR350 there, ladies and gentlemen, yes, there we go, the Annis Euros gets ahead of it. Okay, so absolutely shocking. The Annis Euros really is not a particularly good car, ladies and gentlemen, and it's making the ZR350 an absolute embarrassment, you know. Okay, well, we are going to start to wrap things up, ladies and gentlemen. There's no point in dragging this one out now, is there? So this is what we like to refer to as a serious contender, ladies and gentlemen. For the hose at ho, for those who do not know, for the uninitiated, as they say, this, ladies and gentlemen, is the Benefactor Serrano, retailing for a price of $110,000 only. It is the bottom-end sports Benefactor, don't you know, ladies and gentlemen? You can't buy a cheaper Benefactor off the legendary motorsport website, and if you're not aware of the Benefactor Serrano, ladies and gentlemen, then you certainly are now. Okay, so the next car we're going to bring out, ladies and gentlemen, of course, is going to be what Mr. Raccoon likes to refer to as Big Daddy Z. This is the Pergasi Zentorno, ladies and gentlemen, retailing an absolute steal at $725,000. One of the finest supercars on the game, in our opinion, for the money, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's not a competitive car anymore, you understand. But in terms of supercars, ladies and gentlemen, for the money, you're not going to get anything better on the game. It's absolutely fantastic. Okay, and it's a million miles ahead of the ZR350 there, ladies and gentlemen. Admittedly a different class of car, but I think we can. I think that speaks for itself now, doesn't it? Okay, so of course there is only one more question left, ladies and gentlemen, and that question is the Grotti Italy RSX. And of course, yes, ladies and gentlemen, the answer is going to be sodding hell. Yes, of course the RSX is going to beat it. I mean, Jesus Christ. Okay, so what can we say, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, in terms of looks, this thing is the ZR350. I mean, it's more stylish than a pug dog and a fedora. Let's be quite frank about these things. The only problem is, ladies and gentlemen, every other aspect of the vehicle. Acceleration is more disappointing than a Christian rock concert. You know, it's just that bad. Top end speed, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it performs about as well as an ice skater on stilts, and it's just that stable. In terms of handling, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it's sort of more wayward than a drunken teen at a hippie festival. So, you know, what can I say? I mean, it's absolutely shocking. You know, that's pretty much the wrap up. Would we recommend you buy it? No, ladies and gentlemen, no, we're not going to mess around with this one. Both Mr. Raccoon and myself load this vehicle. It's an absolute waste of money. Don't buy it. We both agree. And right, sodding hell, bloody Raccoon. Right, but I do hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, thank you very much for watching.